So I made these daffodil discs, and I have the flower, this which can hold it. So you could, in theory, just put it right like that. But I kind of want to have a big stem with it hanging down and a bunny looking up at it. I couldn't create a disc. Like, I could, but it was so thin that extruding it through the large extruder was really hard. So I just decided to roll it. You can see I also made some smaller daffodils, so there's different sizes. And I did create discs where you could extrude a length to attach it. Kind of a pain, but it works. So what I'm going to try and do is just create a stem, and you can see that one did not go quite so well. But I rolled out green soap, so I just took some soap dough and rolled it out to the thickness that I wanted. I'm going to trim off to create clean edges. That's about the thickness that I have. You can do whatever thickness you want. And you can make this however tall you want. This piece that I did right here was taller. I'm going to try it with a slightly shorter piece. I think that piece is too tall. I want this to curve over, so that's just why I'm taking this little rolling pin and just kind of giving it that curl. Though I did that in this piece and you could see it lost its shape when I was trying to attach the flower. So we'll see how well this goes. Trim that down. So then that's the front of the flower that's going to hang down. So this is where I want to attach it. As you can see, it's a tiny little piece of real estate, really. So it's kind of, basically I just put some distilled water and I just kind of push it in in hopes that that will work. Then I'm going to let this sit out and dry, and then when I make the soap I'll put it in. So will that work? I hope. Like I said, it's definitely a bit more fragile, that stem, trying to get it to stay, because there isn't anywhere for it to lock on. So that's what I did. There are other ways you could probably create a stem if you wanted. I just, like I said, I haven't come up with a disc that I think does the job that I want to create this stem that is also easily extrudable, or at least not a nightmare to extrude. So that's why I'm doing it this way, and that's why I decided to just do this little video to show you how I'm creating the stem in case you wanted to do the same thing. So also I should note, I've let these flowers sit out so that they're harder. So this is very flexible, but this is a little bit more solid, hopefully for ease of attaching it. So there's that. Technically I put it in there, right? It should hang over and then the bunny will sit under it. So yeah, I gotta go do 2 more pieces and then I will come back and we'll actually make the soap that I'm going to that I plan to with this soap. So there you have it. You saw the daffodil being put together, which was a pain in the backside. I think it worked. We'll see when I have to actually put it in and cut it tomorrow, but right now I'm pouring the grass that the bunny and the daffodil will sit in, and then I want this to set up so that the bunny doesn't sink down, the flowers don't sink down. I can pour the sky without worrying. So I've stick blended it a lot. But I'm gonna let that sit for a bit, hopefully thicken up, and then I'll come back and we'll start adding the embeds. So that's the little bunny. That should be looking at the daffodil, hopefully. Then I have the large daffodils, and then I have other couple smaller sizes, which I think I'm gonna try and also put in. I haven't figured all that out yet. So they might get used, they might not, we'll see. But yeah, so let me let this set up, and then I'll come back and we'll continue. I cut the first loaf. I don't know if I'm going to show you that video or not, so you might have seen it or you might not see it. I'm recording both. It was a disaster, the first one. Okay, it wasn't a disaster, but it was a mess. 11 of 16 bars are like that. 5 bars, it went in the right spot. I'm hoping that this one is in the right spot because so much work and I am so sad and depressed over the first loaf. Oh, I added that second one in. Oh, look, the soap actually went behind his ears. I was afraid I was gonna have air gaps because the soap was getting thicker than I anticipated. Tiny little air gap there. I don't care. I will take it. It's at least I have some bars, one loaf, where they're okay. It's so disheartening when stuff goes wrong. Like, all that work. And I get this. At least I have one loaf that turned out okay. So 16 plus 5, 21 out of 32 bars. Guess that's better than them all being messed up. I do like this. I would have made this thinner if I do this again next time. I've definitely learned a few things. The daffodil was definitely a pain, or I should say the stem, putting that on and then it not falling off, trying to get everything in. So I learned a lot.